So you're thinking about buying a condo in Seattle and you're looking at the Queen Anne High condos and you're wondering what they're all about. Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at the Queen Anne High condos at 201 Gaylor Street, and we're going to cover the amenities. We're going to look at a couple different units. We're going to talk about the different wings of the building. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of different locations within the building. And then we're going to look at where the Queen Anne High condos sit relative to the rest of Seattle and where they sit on Queen Anne. So hey, I'm Matt Goyer, Seattle area real estate agent. I've helped lots of people in Seattle buy and sell places over the years. And we've helped a couple clients in this building. And so today we're going to do a deep dive on it. Let's go. So the Queen Anne High School opened in 1909 and is a great example of neoclassical architecture. It was a high school until the early 80s. And then when the school shut down, it shut down for a couple of years, and then someone bought it and turned it into an apartment building in 1986. And then 20 years later, it turned into condos. And so this is what it looked like back in the day. Don't know when this photo was taken. And then here's a look again at the Queen Anne High School today as a modern condo building on the top of Queen Anne. This is a look at the building from the north side. And then this is a look at the building from the south side. And the south side is nice. You got this nice fountain here in the drive entryway. So let's just talk about the different parts of the building. So the building was built, this original part of the building was built in the early 1900s and opened as a school in 1909. And then in the 20s, they added what's referred to as the West Wing, primarily home to one-bedroom condo units today. And then over here, you have what's referred to as the Industrial Arts Building, which was built in 1955. So here's a look at that south side of the building. It's got a fountain in the circular driveway. And then here's a shot showing you the three different buildings. So you have the original 1909 building here in the background. You've got the West Wing over here, built in the 20s, mainly one bedrooms now. And then you've got the 16-unit Industrial Arts Building. We have a separate video on that if you want to click above and watch that one. Here's a closer view of the 1909 building and the 20s wing. Certainly if you're looking for a unit with the most character, buying in the original building will give you that. It's got the most character of the three different buildings on the property. Top floor, obviously great views, tons of light, high ceilings. I mean, they all have high ceilings. And then if you're really looking for some character, getting one of these units that has what are called palladium windows, they're kind of semicircular windows. Those windows are really neat, super unique, and it's probably the only building in Seattle that features palladium windows. Here's a look at the entryway. So if you're coming in from the north side of the building, it's got this sort of grand staircase that the kids would have been running up back in the day. And now we're looking at the amenities. So this building doesn't have a ton of amenities. The number one amenity here is the rooftop deck. And it faces south. This is a look to the southeast. You've got downtown here in the background. You've got the Space Needle. So just great views. This is a look at some of the furniture they have up there and a little fire pit. Nice on the cooler summer or fall, spring evenings. Look at the view again. So yeah, great view of downtown. You can see that, Queen Anne High School is relatively close to downtown, relatively close to the Space Needle. Here's a good establishing shot looking at the north side of the building, the main entrance here. And then it shows you the Queen Anne High School sort of in perspective, looking out towards downtown. So you got downtown on your left, that's to the east. You've got Lower Queen Anne where the Space Needle is. Here you got the Gates Foundation over here. This is Lower Queen Anne. Then you got Climate Pledge Arena here where the Seattle Kraken play. And then you've got the Puget Sound out to the right. That's out to the southwest. Now here's a look inside the building. I can't remember where in the building this is, but certainly there's still some original character all throughout the building. And this is just showing some of the history deeper within the building. All right, so that's a look at really the only amenity in the building, the rooftop deck and some of the hallways and stuff. Now let's take a look at some of the units within the building. All right, so we're going to pull up unit 448 and take a look at it. All right, so this unit is what we'd call a flexi loft. So it's got tall ceilings and it's got a bit of loft to it, but it's not a full height loft. So that's why it's called a flexi loft. You can see it's got a little ladder that goes up to it. But nice big windows. It's got a chalkboard, hopefully an original chalkboard from the building, giving some character. Here's a better look at that loft area, so you could use it as a sleeping loft. Here's a look at the kitchen. So these got redone in 2006 when it got turned into condos. So it's got granite countertops, don't know what kind of wood this is, but some kind of wood, and then stainless steel appliances, electric cooking in this building. Looks like this unit probably has an upgraded range. It's got a very sort of timeless, classic look to it. Here's a look at the bathroom. You know, very simple but timeless. And some of the units have washer dryers or washing machines or combos, but there are some laundry rooms within the building too. So that was looking at a 572 square foot kind of open one bedroom flexi loft. And then the other unit I wanted to look at was, all right, so now let's look at a larger 2-bedroom unit. This is 1,000 square feet. And this is a south-facing unit, so it's got great views. It's a corner unit over here. So it's got these nice curved windows, huge windows, great view. Gonna get lots of light in the morning, into the afternoon. It too has some chalkboard's going on, and the listing agent had some nice chalk art made, which is a nice touch. Bigger kitchen, it's a bigger unit. No loft space in this unit. So view the Space Needle from the bedroom. Yeah, and then back to the amenities. So that's a look at sort of 2 very different units at Queen Anne High Condos. Flexi loft, more traditional, but still super tall ceiling 2 bedrooms. Now let's just talk about like where Queen Anne High Condos is. So here it is at the top of Queen Anne, and you can see like it's really close to downtown Seattle, as we saw in those photos. Then you got Belltown over here, Lower Queen Anne here, and most of your access will probably be over here or over here. But then also you're close to Lake Union, South Lake Union, so sort of a good position if you're working or you want to socialize anywhere kind of in this greater downtown area. So zooming in on it. So the sort of retail core of Queen Anne, there's a bunch here at the intersection of this street and Gaylor. So you're just, 5 or 6 blocks to get to there. And then you have a bunch of retail runs all along this way here too. So you're a few blocks off the action. So a little bit of a hike to get to things, but the nice thing is it's going to be relatively quiet. You're not going to have as much traffic and noise as if you're in the thick of the retail corridor. So a touch off the beaten path, but still, a very walkable, easily accessible location. It is worth pointing out that you are across the street from an elementary school, which, shouldn't be surprising to have an elementary school and a high school right next door to each other. But certainly if you're probably a little more noise sensitive, you'd want to avoid buying on the north side of the building if you don't want to hear screaming children. But there's lots of units on the south side of the building that you could consider instead. So yeah, there's a look at Queen Anne High Condos. So if you got any questions about the condo building, feel free to leave us a comment below, or my contact info's there. Feel free to reach out if you're interested in touring any of the condos for sale there, or if you want me to notify you when something comes up for sale. I'd be happy to help. If you made it this far in the video, hit like or hit subscribe to stay on top of the Seattle real estate market and see more interesting condo buildings in the area. Thanks for watching.